Yo, what up guys, it's Jack and welcome back to another video, and this is going to be a class setup video, and you're going to see the gameplay right afterwards, after I explain the class setup and all that. So I feel that this class here is going to set up, it really stands out from the other classes, and for some, in this game specifically, if you rush around, sometimes the game makes you pay very, very hard for that, but I'm here to tell you that you no longer have to worry with the class that I'm going to show you, because as a matter of fact, rushing around with this class is definitely something that could actually benefit you, because as you guys know, with this game they want you to use certain weapons a certain way in the way they have the weapons designed, and what attachments you can use, what attachments you can't use, and just simply how every weapon works, and regardless of what class. I mean, every gun is like so different from one another, even if they're in the same class. So this setup here is going to be one of the setups that I have that really stand out and that are going to help you a lot if you like to rush around. Now, it will help you if you are a passive player as well, or slightly passive, but not as much as if you were an aggressive player. And as you guys know, when creating a class setup, especially with this game in Black Ops 4, when you create a class, it's not just about the weapon itself. As a matter of fact, it's about the setup as well. So the weapon itself is only part of the formula. It's also how you set that weapon up and how you play as a player. So if you're passive, it's not going to be as helpful, but if you're aggressive, this will help you. Alright, so let's get into the class. So this is it here. It's the Maddox RFB, an absolute beast of a gun. I'm using Reflex, Quick Draw, Stock, and Fast Mags. I'm also experimenting with Quick Draw 2 as opposed to Fast Mags as well, because I like to aim down sights faster. I don't know if it's if you stop sprinting and then aim down sights, it goes faster. But yeah, I'm going to be experimenting back and forth. Maybe I'll try some Fast Mags too, but for the most part, what I'm using is Quick Draw, Stock, and Fast Mags. The reason why you want to use Fast Mags is simply because of the fact that you're going to run out of bullets and you need to reload quickly, as people are going to be rushing you here and there. And quite frankly, again, it's a speed class, it's a rushing class, so you want to be ready to fire again as soon as possible. Again, I can switch this with Elo sights. I go back and forth with that. Attachments, obviously Quick Draw, you want to draw as fast as possible, and Stock. Strafe shooting with a gun like this, especially if you're a rusher, is absolutely vital and necessity, not just for necessarily accuracy purposes, but you want to avoid being an easy target. So Stock is definitely a necessity. Stim shot, obviously, you want to recover much quicker when you get shot, because you will get shot, because this game is all about gunfights. So Stim shot is, in my opinion, irreplaceable. Perk 1, Scavenger, you're going to run out of bullets really quick. You're going to need Scavenger. It's a necessity. Gung Ho, in my opinion, another necessity, simply because of the reduced sprint out time. So, and for those of you that don't understand what that is, it's when you go from sprinting to bringing your gun up. Gung Ho makes it happen faster as opposed to not using Gung Ho. But I don't see a lot of people using Gung Ho. They're going for lightweight, which is what I would go for as well if Gung Ho didn't exist. But even if it makes at least bit of difference for someone like me that rushes the way I do, Gung Ho is a necessity. And Dead Silence. Now, Dead Silence, some people are saying, is not that good in team-based games, but I play free-for-all, and it seems that not many people play free-for-all compared to team-based games in this game, and understandably so. But with Dead Silence in this game, I have come to realize that in free-for-all, and even in some team-based games as well, I'm telling you, you can definitely hear enemy footsteps. You can hear your teammates' footsteps too if you're playing team-based games, but in terms of free-for-all, it's irreplaceable, in my opinion. And you want to counter that acoustic sensor as well, which could be very annoying sometimes. I don't want to use it anymore. I don't use it anymore. You will see some gameplays of me using it. Some of them are very old, but as of recently, I'm not using them anymore, especially after the spawn patch for free-for-all. Well, spawn patches in general. And I have noticed a bit of an improvement, but a lot of players, especially ones that have played a lot of team-based games, will say that improvements still need to be had, but hey, it is what it is. So Dead Silence, again, counter the acoustic sensor, and just don't want to be heard. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the class, so we're going to get into the gameplay now, and I'll see you in the gameplay. Alright guys, and this is the gameplay here about to start, and before I continue on with this commentary, there is one thing I want to say about the class before I get into the other things that I wanted to talk about, and that is the fact that this class has one weakness, and that is at long distance engagements, and specifically speaking, like legit long distance engagements. you don't want to be using this weapon to where you have to burst in order to try to catch a target at a very, very long distance. And because one of the reasons is because, number one, the weapon isn't quite as good at long distance, because once you hold the trigger down for long enough, the recoil is going to go all over the place. But if you stay at close to medium distance engagements, the gun will be very, very easy to use, and at the same time, it's where it's the most effective. But with that being said, if you do see somebody that's AFK from a really long distance engagement, yeah, go for it, because why not? Because they're AFK, free kill, and also because of the fact that, well, long distance shots in this game, long shot medals are a pain in the ass to get, and hopefully maybe in a patch they'll address that, because you have to be stupid long distance in order for you to get that medal, and they're asking for 10 of those, and for me personally speaking, I think it's a pain in the ass. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments section. So the only weakness for this class, again, long distance engagements. So be very aware of that. If you see somebody and they have their sights aimed down from long distance, don't even think about it. Try to get a little bit closer and then approach it from there. But that's pretty much it. So with this class specifically, I chose to do this one. If I do more on different guns and stuff like that, I chose to do this one first because this one stood out above the rest in terms of not just performance, but in terms of the way I play. And I know that there are other players that do play like me, but it's just that with this game, we're still going through our transition of trying to get to know the game better. Granted, it's been like 10 days since the game's been out or so, but still, with all that being said, there's still a transition that we're going through. But with this gun here, after I started using it and setting it up the way I wanted to set it up, and when things became a little bit more consistent with the game, not saying that the game doesn't have its problems with consistency, because it still does, but it seems to be a little bit more consistent now. But once I started using this weapon more and more, I came to realize that it's basically, I didn't have to go through a transition at all. I could play this Call of Duty the same exact way that I played the previous Call of Duties. I can just run around, rush, use my gun skill and whatever game knowledge I have, and put it into place and become successful at it. And this gun has certainly done that for me. It's certainly doing its part. It's not punishing me for play the way I like to play, and that's one of the reasons why early on in this video I basically discussed how it's important to realize the kind of player you are for this type of class to have the effect that it's meant to have for you. So if you're very passive, again, it can help, but not as much. And obviously you're going to have to change around the attachments. But again, with the way this game is built and the way the guns are built regardless of class, every single gun is so different that it's meant to be used a certain way, and some guns are meant to be used in certain ways other than others. So I believe that this is the way the gun is meant to be used, and I believe classes are supposed to be similar to the one that I'm using here with this gun. So please bear that in mind. So again, once you guys, for any of you guys that are interested in trying this class out and you try it, let me know how well it works for you, because number one, I always like feedback, and number two, I really have a strong belief that this is the rushing AR class. I'm not saying that you can't rush with other assault rifles, because you certainly can, but in terms of getting the most out of it, this is one of the classes that will definitely do that for you. And as I've said before, there are other classes, so if I get good enough positive feedback from this video, I will make more if you guys request it, and if not, I'll just leave it be and I'll just keep playing, so to speak, and I'll do different videos that I will end up doing. But if this ends up helping you out, let me know, because these are the kind of videos that I enjoy making if it helps other people out so as well. But yeah, this is the gameplay, and I have to apologize. I picked up this guy's Spitfire because he had the what's it called? He had that operator mod on it, and it was, you could hear the gun going off from a really long distance, and it's like, damn, that's firing so fast. But I wanted to try it and to see just exactly how it felt, because I haven't really used the Spitfire all that much, if at all, because I've been using the assault rifles and just experimenting in different ways. I'm starting to use SMGs more now, but in terms of this gun right here is absolutely ridiculous, but at the same time, if you're at medium to long distance, you're not going to be able to do anything with it. But if you're really, really close, as you can see, it's it's a bullet hose to the absolute max. It's absolutely crazy. So if you're at close, and if somebody's not using a shotgun or maybe even a sniper rifle, and if they got something else on and you're close, you're gonna kill them. It's simple as that. The only thing that can take you out faster are snipers and shotguns in this game. And even with that, this gun competes with those. But the recoil though is pretty ridiculous, so use it use it with caution, because it is ridiculous. But it's at the same time it could be fun to use, and I was actually surprised that I didn't die at all after I picked it up. But I was curious, so I had to pick it up. But yeah, I have plenty more gameplays with this class setup, so it definitely works, and I recommend that you guys try it. And that's pretty much all I got to say for this one. I hope that this class setup helped you guys out, and give it a shot. Let me know. And that's all I got for this one, guys. So as always, if you enjoyed the video and if you got something out of it, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know what I could do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.